Sports Talk Worldwide with some news for the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, hey, I always got to start off with this. I roll with Joe. So let me just say that before I say the rest of everything else that's going to go down. Right? Joseph Parker versus Junior Fa. It's going to be moved from December 11th to December the 12th. These are heavyweights, baby. These are heavyweights. Now, it's a very meaningful fight for that hemisphere. It's the Kiwi Showdown. It is what it is. It's going to be moved to, on Saturday, December 12th. Joseph Parker, what is he, about 23-2 or something else, but I know he has 2 losses, and when I consider them to be pretty bogus or controversial, to say the least. Won't get into it every time I talk about Joseph Parker. Junior Fa is still undefeated. No names of note, but still undefeated. This fight here is, it gets a lot of superlatives. You get the fight of the century in New Zealand, right? Which means it's very important that that thing happens. It's a once-in-a-generation fight. You hear that being said. It's a blockbuster fight, the biggest in New Zealand history, the fight of the century, this and that, so it's huge. Now, neither one of these guys are in the top 5 in the world, but it's a big dust up there. And so at the end of the day, let the fight have just happened. I'm glad we don't get no bad news talking about, it's not going to happen at all. Now, let's make sure this is clear, too. The fight is being moved back to December the 12th now, which is a Saturday. And it was going to be on the Friday, December 11th, but they were going about to clash with the All Blacks. Now, a lot of people that are not in the rugby in the other hemisphere and whatever, let me make sure this is clear. The All Blacks is huge. That's huge. Everybody know them. Though that's the dudes that if you don't know, the ones that be in black and be dancing before, not dancing, but doing that little thing that they do to intimidate their opponents before those little rugby matches. The boys are bad. The top-notch rugby, and rugby ain't no joke in the first place, so let's get that twisted. Don't get that twisted. These are the All Blacks. It's huge in New Zealand, so if they playing on the same day that somebody fighting, you're gonna lose a whole lot of views, right? So what they were doing is we're not gonna go against that, right? And that's legitimate. Why go? Let me go the day before. So both of these events are huge, right? That's what you do when you can, right? And normal. So we can agree on that, right? But let me just make sure this is clear. Why Tyson Fury is about to fight somebody else because they were about to fight him and Deontay Wilder in their trilogy fight, right, on December the 19th. But it would clash with something similar to the All Blacks on American soil. You guys know we got the other football, with the pads on it and stuff like that, and it's important whether it's, pro or college. College is sometimes even bigger. So those are the things that are going on. So that's the reason why that fight is not going on, because they're trying to go around the dates, just like any country would. Most countries don't want to clash with football or soccer, right? So that's what's happening. So make sure this clear. They're going to do that in the fight of the century to make sure they don't clash with something. That's all that the promoters for Tyson Fury, at least Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury were trying to do to move the date. So because of that reason, Tyson Fury is not going to wait 3 weeks to fight Deontay Wilder. I want to make sure that's clear so the world would know while we're rolling with Joe, because Joe's a friend of Tyson Fury's, so he ain't going to call him out. I roll with Joe, but Tyson Fury is suspectable. He's suspect. Let's be real. So I want to make sure that was clear while we're talking about it. Bottom line is Joseph Parker versus Junior Fa, December the 12th now on a Saturday. New Zealand should be happy. They can concentrate on one fight. It's a big fight there. The winner can move on to do some other things. I think it's good for Joseph Parker to have this fight right now, and I'll tell you why. Because it's bottom line that Joseph Parker has 2 bogus losses. If you mess around and go, let's say he went and fought Anthony Joshua again, or Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, somebody has another loss, it would look like 3 losses. And to say if Junior Fa went and beat somebody pretty good, on the cusp of one of the tops, then he would be considered ascending and Joseph Parker descending. So right now, for both of them, if New Zealand considers this the fight of the century, y'all grab it, have a good fight. Maybe you can have a couple of them in this pandemic, or the fighter that wins that, depending on the scenario, can continue to do better things or do bigger things. Let's see what happens. I'm going to definitely tune in. Dome Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm out of here, y'all.